Hey everybody, this is Guillermo with Live Trading with Guillermo. Today is Sunday. It's kind of late already. It's about almost 8 o'clock my time. So sorry for the late video. Today I went, it was a busy weekend, lots of activities going on with the family. And then today I went and got my concealed handgun license training. So not that I carry a weapon, but I do like to go to the range. I'm more of a target shooter kind of guy, so I wanted to have something just to protect me legally, to make sure I can safely transport my weapon to the range, go shoot, things like that. So that's what I do, and of course always want to protect my family. So that I've been an avid shooter for many years, going back when I was in college, when I was in the National Guard. So I've always enjoyed that, and always had a good time. And I realize there's a big responsibility that comes with that, so I take it very seriously. So I always make sure I stay on top of current regulations and get certified and things like that. So I spent most of my day doing that today, so it's kind of busy, but finally getting around to doing a video for you guys. So I don't have a PowerPoint presentation for you all today. This is going to be kind of just very unscripted, so I apologize if I'm a little wordy, but I'll try not to be. So the first question that I've received was consolidation. What does that look like, and then what do I look for? All right. So right now I have the Ripper X Reloaded. This is just for illustration purposes, just so you can see the background change. The strategy is on, but the bot is off. So it's not going to take a trade. And I have it on the MNQ because I was playing around. I like, when the market's slow, I like to play with micros and just kind of test different things, different bar sizes, different contracts, just to see what I like. And I like to test when there's not, I could use simulation as well. But I decided to, I might make a few bucks, just playing around. So what does consolidation look like? And what I like to show people, let me see if this is a good example. Let's see if we get lucky here. So far, this look over here, that looked pretty good. I mean, it's making nice moves. You're getting higher highs pretty much. So it's looking pretty good. So let's see if we just get lucky. I'm just going to scroll through the history. That was towards the end of the day on Friday. It was making a move to the top there. So we'll see. I'm going to use this one over here. Yeah, right here. Here's a good example of it. So you'll see, let me move my big head out of the way here. There we go. So you see in the market here, it made a big move to the top. Then it kind of, went down. It tried to go up and it got slapped down. Okay, then you start seeing these kind of maneuvers. That is starting to create a consolidation pattern. Like it's having there's indecision in the market, right? It's hard to tell if it's just going to go up or if it's going to go down. So if you're in this trade, depending on the software, if it has the DRAM functionality and you have it engaged, it will take DRAM adjustments to get you out of this. And then boom, pick up a winner. Then boom, you would pick up another winner, right? So you would have lost some of your profit here, but DRAM would have saved you. But then look at this. Then we're into another consolidation period, right? And then it starts making moves. So what would I do? Okay, if I see, and I'm going to use my drawing tool here. And this is included in your NinjaTrader. You can use a drawing tool. But what I like to do, and that's not what I was trying to do. Let me remove that. Yes, I want to remove that. I'm trying to draw a rectangle. Yeah, right there. So what I like to do, this is just for illustration purposes again, just to kind of show you guys. But once it's in this little channel here, from this high to these lows, where it just keeps bouncing off, and it keeps bouncing off. What I like to do is I like to look for a move that's going to take me below it or above it. Okay, I don't draw these out when I'm trading. I just kind of look for the pattern, and then I'll look for the next big move. Okay, so let's see what would have happened. So far we're still in the channel. So right now, like right here, I would be looking to start thinking about turning on the bot. Now we're seeing consolidation again. All right, so we haven't really broken out outside of this. So we went from one consolidation period, a couple of moves, and then we're back into consolidation. So that's, the bot can help you, but if you don't engage, if you don't have to take a trade here, don't do it. Okay, so now looks like it may, let's see what it is. So far it's sticking to the channel, so this is still kind of in unfriendly waters, as I like to say. And then it's going to say, is it starting to, okay, now it's trying to break above the channel. So this is, and we got a gray background here. I would probably be thinking about turning on my automation, because it's making a move up. It would pull back, and let's see, DRAM would have engaged, and we would have gotten stopped out here. So it would have been a small winner, but you know, it would have entered, and then it would have entered this trade here, and that would have been a winner, and that would have been a nice long winner. Look at that. And then let's see what would have happened here. Look at that. So we would have picked up, so we would have hit DRAM here, but we would have entered a nice long winner, and then another winner here, and then let's see where it ended up. And like I said, this was towards the end of the day on Friday, and that happens a lot at the cash close session, especially on Fridays when the market's been kind of crappy and just trending. Friday can be a good day at the end of the day. That's just my tip of the day. Look to trade that last hour, like market closes at 4 Eastern, 1 Pacific. So I start thinking about it like 12:30 my time, which is 3:30 Eastern. I like that last 30 minutes. I'll start kind of checking it out, and that's kind of what happened here on Friday. It made a big move to the top. Now today is Sunday. Market's still pretty high up. It's in a range. You know, it's not doing a whole lot of movement here, but the market's slow. All right, it's kind of the Sunday night, not a lot of movement, that sort of thing. Now, what you could do is you can change your bar size, and that creates volatility for the bot to engage. So I'm just gonna take a mental image of what this looks like. Okay, then if we go to data series, and let's say I do 12:3, just for the fun of it. And then, okay, so it's gonna load. So see how it's gonna look in a second. Okay, wait for the bot to reactivate, and see how different that looks now. Like it created like bigger moves for us. So that's the advantages of a lower bar size when the market's moving slow. It gives us an opportunity, it gives the bot an opportunity to enter the market, where a bigger bar size, it smooths things out when it's really volatile, but when it's really slow, it doesn't really do a whole lot. It's hard to enter because it's got such a long ways to go because the bar is so big. But when it's this small, a 12.3, you can see right here, this would have been a sweet trade right here. You would have entered that bad boy, and you would have been, that could have been your one trade, and you would have made your 500 to 1,000 easy right there, right? That's kind of the idea of volatility, different bar size. I know kind of straight from the topic, but just to recap, if you are looking for, what I look for in consolidation, you can easily draw the box, the rectangular box. It creates a channel. Once it breaks out of the channel, either above it or below it, I start looking to take my trades. That's my secret. There's no secret. I've told you guys about these indicators. When everything aligns, I go for the trade. So I would wait for this to go. Oops, let me go this way. Let's say I'm just starting it on, and I'm looking for a trade. This is my setup. I look for that purple background, the indicators, and I would wait for the trade to happen way down here somewhere. because that indicates it's going down. If it's a gray background and it's above the indicators, then I would look to go long. Okay, but like right here, we could turn on the bot right here. It's going to take a trade to the bottom, but the market's going so slow that we probably wouldn't. I'm not going to talk for so long for it to kind of close out on a trade. So anyway, I'm not going to turn it on. That was just to show you guys. But okay, so next step. Okay, what I want to cover next. So I'm going to switch over to. Let me see if I can do this. Okay, perfect. It did work. Okay, so as you guys know, I trade using Apex Trader funding. I trade those accounts. Those are the accounts I trade. I also have a Lilu account, or accounts, I should say, that are in different stages. Some are funded, some are in process. I have quite a few already on XPix that are funded. People ask me, first question is, do I use a trade copier? I do not. Okay, I do not use a trade copier. I've tried them before. They just can't keep up with the bots. Bots are way too fast for those copiers. And second, don't be calling tech support about no copier, because they do not know anything about it. So don't call tech support and say, hey, what kind of copier can I use? They're not going to help you, because a copier is something third party sell those. There's issues with hanging orders, slippage, all kinds of stuff. So I haven't really figured out an effective way to do that. So what the way I do is I trade my different accounts individually, because I do have, a couple of bots. I'll do that. I'll trade them at different times, different instruments, that sort of thing. So that's how I do it. It's not the most efficient, but that's just the way it goes. That's just how I do it. So word of caution: if you use a trade copier, then that's on you. That's on you. So people have asked me, how do you get started? Like, what's the progression that I went through, and what would I recommend if somebody is like brand new, looking at futures trading, and they want to get started? What would I recommend? First, what I would recommend is get on YouTube and start searching futures trading with NinjaTrader, anything like that, and just start watching people's videos. Okay, learn about it, and then decide, is that something I want to do? Okay, so you gotta say, yeah, I want to do this. All right, and then you'll think to yourself, like, I want to do it, but I want to figure out how. All right, so obviously you'll need a software tool, which is NinjaTrader 8, and you just saw of TrueTradeBot running on that. I had the Ripper X Reloaded running on NinjaTrader 8. So that's the base software that your broker connects to. So if you have a NinjaTrader brokerage account, that connects to your NinjaTrader. You take your trades, and it takes those trades. Okay, I use Apex Trader Funding, which uses a third-party software which is called Rhythmic Trader or RTrader, and that uses that system to place the trade for the prop funding account. Okay, and I think all the prop funding firms use Rhythmic. All right, so, and it stinks. I don't like it. It sucks. Actually, it's pretty bad. So if you're like maybe doing manual trading, and you're put one contract and you're just kind of letting it run, and you have your own manual stop loss and you're moving it yourself, it works okay for that. That's fine. But if you have anything that's really complicated, like these bots are, these are pretty intricate. There's a lot going on. Sometimes Rhythmic can't keep up. So that's just a word of caution. So you got to think to yourself, do I want to go the brokerage account where you put your deposit money into it and you trade your own money, or are you going to trade someone else's money, which is what I choose to do? All right, so there's no right or wrong. It's just a matter of preference. I trade Apex accounts. Okay, Apex is a pretty reputable company. Lilu, they've been around for a while. Lilu Trading, so they're another one, and there's others. So you can do some research and find one that works for you. Obviously, if you use my link, I do make a small commission on each account that you get. And obviously I would love your support if you decide to do that. People ask me, do you need a virtual private server to run NinjaTrader 8? I personally use a virtual private server, and I'll tell you the reasons why. So my computer, I have a decent computer, my laptop that I'm recording on right now. It's pretty nice. You know, it's a Intel Core i7 IdeaPad. It's pretty nice, and I have an extra monitor hooked up to it, so it's pretty cool. So it's more than capable of running. But what happens though is there's too many variables that I've decided because I do this kind of pretty seriously. I decided to get a virtual private server because the server is running on its own. It only has NinjaTrader and Rhythmic running, and that's it. I don't have anything else on it. No email, no Facebook, no YouTube, nothing. It's just strictly that. And it's got its own dedicated internet connection. So regardless of what happens to my desktop, like at home, because my home internet will go out, if there's a power outage at my home, my server is still operational. So in a pinch, I can go on my tablet, my iPad, I can log in, continue trading. You know, I can close out my trades and wait for the power to return at home, and then I can get back into it. So I use it more for a peace of mind, because that equipment is better, faster, more storage, faster internet. They have like internet, dedicated internet. The service I use are like 99.9% reliable. Like, I think I've only had it crash maybe one time, and I've been using their services for like a year now. So I use a virtual private server to host my software. All right, but it's a matter of choice. You don't. It is an added expense. So just think about that. If they'll cost you anywhere from like $60 to about $90 a month, depending on the package. It's an added expense. So just be aware of that. I choose to do it, and it works for me. So just a matter of preference. So the next step, so you got your computer or your virtual private server. You got NinjaTrader 8 installed. You got your own brokerage account through NinjaTrader or whatever other brokerage account, or you have your Apex software funded account. You got to connect it. So now you're ready to trade. Do you want to just trade manually? Like maybe you take a course and you learn how to trade manually. You can definitely do that. You can put up indicators on NinjaTrader. There's, people have created scripts for it and all kinds of stuff. So, if you go on YouTube, there's going to be a ton of stuff for NinjaTrader. When I did my research, I found TrueTrade, and that's how I got started. Let me rephrase that. That's when I started seeing success. Is when I started with the TrueTrade software. Prior to that, I tried, I think, 4 different other software and automation. Like I said, I spent a lot of money on that. Never worked. So I saw success with this. That's just my experience. Okay, so I'm not endorsing anything, but or telling you should go get it. But that's just what's worked for me. Okay, so now that you have your automation, you start trading. Of course, what I recommend is that you start trading in simulation. 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, however long it takes you to be consistent. So if your goal is to make $500 a day, then simulate till you're averaging 500 a day. So that means one day you might make 600, one day you might make 400, one day you may lose 200, and another day you might make 800. Okay, so by the end of the week, the goal is to average whatever your goal is. Okay, if it's 500, go for it. Okay, I like to do between 500 and 1,000. You've seen my videos; they're in the 1,000 range, but I have some higher end bots now. The Ripper X Reloaded, that's pretty killer. The Auto Ripper Pro Reloaded, even though I only run 3 contracts on it, which is a good safe amount, it still makes about $1,000 too. And the goal for that one's like 500 to 1,000 for me, but I always beat that. So, but I always recommend start small, because small is not really small. Even if it's 200 a day, 5 days a week, that's 1,000 a week. All right, in a month that's 4,000. So 4,000 extra bucks a month if you just make 200, and you can make that in one Like you've seen my trades, like, you know, 2 or 3 bars and you're already making $200. You could do that on micros. You wouldn't have to trade a large account either. You could trade a smaller brokerage account or a smaller Apex account. Which brings me to my final topic for tonight. I know my video is getting long, so I apologize for that. So, Apex, pros and cons. Okay, there's 2 things I don't like about prop trading firms in general, and 1 thing I don't like about this particular company. So 1 thing I don't like is that these companies use NinjaTrader. I've told you guys about it. It's horrible. There's times where it's just up and down, and it can leave trades open, and you watch my videos and I'm closing them out, and I have to be right on top of it. So because of that, you can't leave your software unattended. Rhythmic is just not it. All right, people hate it. So hopefully these prop firms are looking at other alternatives. There's more and more prop firms being created now, and they're using Rhythmic, which I think is causing additional problems with the network. So I hate that piece of it. The second piece is I'm going to go right here and show you guys. So you can go to the FAQ even without being a member of Apex Trader. How do payouts work? And I'm going to go to the schedule here. I always recommend you guys a $50,000 account. It's got a good. It's got a good. I think you only need to make $3,000 on it, and you get a $2,500 drawdown. So that's pretty good. It's a pretty good balance between profit and drawdown. So a $50,000 account is something I would recommend. The next tier up would be maybe like 100 or 150. And if you're trading large contracts, then you want to go to the big boys. You know, like 300 or 350. I think is the biggest one they got. But as you can see here, the one thing I don't like is that for your first payout after getting funded, you have to trade for 25 days. 25 trading days. So that already puts you over a month because there's about 20 trading days. Okay, so that takes you into the second month. The minimum amount you can withdraw is 1,000. The maximum is 2,000. So in 25 days, you might make $10,000. You know, $20,000, but you can only draw 2,000 of that. Okay. Then the second and the third month, you got to trade for 10 days, and you can still only draw a minimum of 1,000 and max of 2,000. So for the first 3 months, it's 2, 4, 6. So the maximum you could ever draw would be 6,000 over basically 3 months, which is, I mean, 6,000, you know, $6,000, you know, that's cool. Then finally on the 4th month, there's no maximum after that. So some people don't like it because if you're making, you know, basically the prop firm is hanging on to your profit and you can't withdraw it. So it's just sitting in the account. The good thing about it, it's kind of like a forced savings account in a way that your account continues to grow. So by the 4th month, if you have a bad trading day or trading week or whatever, you're not going to blow your account because you're so far ahead. You know, you're like into your 4th month, and if you're making, you know, 5,000 a month or something like that, you're up 20K on your account. If you're just doing like minimum withdrawal amounts, right? So that's one thing I don't like about it, is that you're kind of waiting. It's a long waiting period. I wish it was shorter than that, but it's not. So if you think that I'm going to use a prop trading account and I'm going to get my money back the first month, it's not going to work. All right, there's no way. The way the payout schedule works, it's not going to work. Let me go back to the home screen. Once you get to the main screen here, it tells you about why, you know, what's a prop funding account, what is it for, how does it work, you know, why you choose Apex Trader. So they got little videos in there, very helpful if you're new to this and this is the first time looking at this. It's a good idea. Check out the videos. FAQs have a bunch of videos too. They have videos to show you how to connect your software and everything. So it's pretty involved. They tell you the rules, when you can trade, position sizes, and all kinds of stuff. And then, of course, your plans. Like I said, the 50K account is $167 a month. With my discount code right now, you get half, 50% off. So this becomes more like 90 something. With tax, comes up to like $92 or something like that, because they do charge tax. Even if you live in a tax-free state like I live in Oregon, we don't have a sales tax, but I still have to pay it. So, and then the 100K account, you can see the price for that, $207. So divided by 2 there, take 50% off, and then you can see how much that costs. And then the big account is $300,000, and that one costs $657 a month. And then if you take 50% off of that, so $325 or so plus tax, roughly. That's how much a big challenge costs. Of course, they do have sales. You've seen when there's a big sale, I like to post it. Sometimes they have 80% off. When that happens, I come in for the big boys like this and give it a shot, right? The profit goal is 20 grand, excuse me, in the trading period. So it is a tough challenge, because this is a trailing threshold, and there's a video on this. I'm not going to cover it tonight. FAQ, trailing threshold, it tells you all about it. But basically what it does is, as you start making money, the trailing threshold starts moving up with you. And if you have like a really bad day, it can hit your trailing drawdown and you can fail the evaluation, which is kind of a drag. So these are, of course, they do that on purpose. They try to make it difficult for you to pass. And a lot of firms have this. There are some that don't, so you'll want to do your research if that's something that's important to you and you don't want to deal with. So I think that's going to be it for tonight, guys. This is pretty long video. It's getting kind of wordy. But like I said, consolidation, kind of look for a pattern above, or excuse me, a move above or below after the consolidation period. Okay, it's not scientific in any way, but that's what I look for. I look for those indicators, above it or below it. I look for those. Those work pretty well for me, as you've seen. Last week was kind of rough. It was hit and miss. So not 100%, of course, nothing is. And then, what's the sequence of events if you want to get started in futures trading? As I mentioned, the first step is to even determine if this is something you really want to do, because this is a dedication to trying something new that you haven't done before, and it requires a different mental, psychological kind of state. You got to think a little bit different. This is not gambling. This is not that at all. This is about being smart about your trades, creating a goal for yourself, staying disciplined, following the rules if you're using one of these accounts, staying within those rules, and then continue to be consistent. Of course, simulate whenever possible, and then like I said, depends which way you want to go. If you want to do the manual route and you're just going to figure it out on your own, that's cool. Or if you're looking for automation, there's different tools out there for automation. I happen to choose TrueTrade, but that's just my what I chose to do. Again, it's up to you what you decide. Okay, but this is what I post, and that's what I post on my videos. You see that I switch because I have the two bots. I'll switch back and forth every day and just try different strategies. But I don't know if you saw the theme. My trades are kind of always the same. I don't know if you noticed. Last week was kind of rough, I do have to say. But prior to that, everything seemed like almost like a copy of the previous day's trades. Like it was pretty consistent. And if you start catching a pattern like that, you'll start seeing it, and you'll be like, oh yeah, I've seen this before, and I'm gonna go and take my trades. So you'll learn it as you go. Automation is a great tool, but there's things you can do to increase your success. All right, don't think automation is the magic bullet. It definitely is going to help a lot. All right, it's going to take the trade for you. It's going to exit the trade for you. It's got all this analytics, AI, all this cool stuff, but you have to decide when you turn it on. The software can't turn itself on. Okay, so you make that choice, and once you turn it on, it's going to do whatever it's programmed to do. So let's give it a chance. All right, wait for consolidation to break out, and let's go for it. So that's what I'll do tomorrow. Tomorrow, I think I'm going to trade the Auto Ripper Pro Reloaded, 3 contracts, DRAM on. I do that. I'm going to wait a few minutes after market open because I like to see how kind of things kind of settle down, and then see if I see a direction. And once that happens, I turn on my automation, and then I go for it. That's what I do. I'm hoping I can get my 2-3 trades out of the way, and then I'll be done. That's anywhere from 5 to 7 minutes. Lately, it's been about 30 to 40 minutes to get the same results. Okay, so it's been kind of tough, but hopefully after this month wraps up, we get into September, and then we enter just traditional patterns of trading. That seasonality that traders experience. Summers tend to be kind of slow, kind of rangy, choppy markets. That's what we're up against, so just be aware of that. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and call it a night. I'll get this posted up ASAP for you, and as always, like I said, I don't check email. Some of you have my email. Let me rephrase that. I check email. I don't respond individually that much anymore, but I do look for topics and then try to post those in a video or cover it during my daily trading sessions, just to try to answer questions. So that's my approach. So with that, have a great night. Enjoy the rest of your weekend, and we'll see you tomorrow. Market open. I'll be waiting for you guys. So be on the lookout for my video, and I'll see you tomorrow. All right. Have a good night. Bye.